Hello, everybody. It's your boy Jay, and boy, did I go and see Chainsaw Man: The Reze arc. They actually gave me this really cool carrying bag. It's kind of flimsy. It's not the best quality, but I mean, it's got this baller ass image of Chainsaw Man versus the Bomb Devil. I'm going to briefly talk about the Reze arc, my thoughts on it, and how much I loved it. Because, obviously I loved it. But real quick, I want to talk real quick about adaptations because Chainsaw Man, there's been an argument that, for example, the anime adaptation of Chainsaw Man was actually a really bad adaptation. And on one hand, I can understand why people are saying this. They skipped out on a very important fight that establishes Denji's whole thing, and also there was a whole lot of fan service with this character, Himeno. Everyone loves her. She's a lot of people's waifu, even though she barely does shit. But I do think that that intro sequence to that one episode was important because, like, without spoiling, that shit actually happens. Like, it actually happens. Like, I'm not gonna spoil too much. If you haven't read the manga, I really recommend reading the manga. Is it superior to watching the anime? Well, I'll say this. You can get a lot further in the manga than you can in the anime. And from what I understand, Chainsaw Man, the season 2 isn't going to come out till like 2027. So get into the manga right now while you can. It is a beautiful story. I personally love it. It's honestly my favorite current ongoing manga, if I'm being honest with you. But yeah, I also really like the anime. Like, I really just love Chainsaw Man. Adaptations are a thing. And the thing about adaptations is people want them to adhere closely to the original text. You know what I mean? Like, an example I always like to throw up is Goku's Super Saiyan transformation in Dragon Ball Z. In the manga, that's just like one single page and like two panels. You just see Goku really pissed off, and suddenly his hair rises and he's Super Saiyan. But in the anime, they depict that struggle like he's holding it back as much as possible. To me, it's because Goku is this innocent soul. He doesn't want to hurt anybody, but his Saiyan nature is taking over. The devastation of losing his best friend Krillin has made him snap, and he's becoming something he doesn't want to be, a ruthless, cold-blooded Saiyan killer. We don't know about Super Saiyan 2. We don't know about Super Saiyan 3. We're talking like back in the 90s, the original Super Saiyan transformation. You could argue is like the most iconic rage boost power-up of all time. But yeah, my point is, in the anime, they depict like a struggle to, sort of add more layers to the character of Goku. And I feel like they took liberties with the anime adaptation of Chainsaw Man. And, a lot of them worked, a lot of them didn't. I understand why people say it's a bad adaptation. They also say they don't like the art style. They don't like how the colors are so desaturated, and they really prefer this more saturated look. Anyway, my point is, the Reze arc is an example of adaptations, but also adhering true to the original text. Like, before I go on, I gotta say, I really remembered the Reze arc being a lot longer than it was. Turns out it's just these two manga volumes. Like, literally, if you want to read the Reze arc, start here, finish here. Like, it starts here and it ends here. Yeah. What can I say, man? The Reze arc is art. I can't even say that it's art, though, because I already said this before. I said this to one of my friends right after I saw the movie. But it's the kind of movie that transcends art. Like, I don't want to get too deep and philosophical into it, but there's so much theming and there's so much elements to it that just resonate with me so hard. I understand that a lot of people see Chainsaw Man as nothing more than a simple Gooner anime because of the fan service that happens, but they don't actually pay attention to what happens in the story. They don't pay attention to Denji's character progression. They don't pay attention to any of that. But I'm not here to, ridicule anybody who just reads Chainsaw Man for the fun fights, because there is fun fights in this movie. But damn, eye candy galore, and I'm not even talking the fan service. For some reason, I thought the movie was going to be a lot longer because I thought they were going to add more. But I also, for some reason, thought that the arc lasted a whole lot longer in the manga. Like I said, it's just these two volumes. But, you know, the main reason I thought that is because when I did read Chainsaw Man, I read it through the Shonen Jump app, which, you know, doesn't really keep track of volumes for you. At least I didn't check to see, like, oh, this is part of volume, whatever. Anyway, the movie is great. I loved it. It's beautifully scored. It's got beautiful voice acting performances. I saw the English dubbed version for full disclosure. I have yet to see the subbed version. I really am curious to see the subbed version because I really, really love the voice talents in the entirety of the, like, every voice that they chosen is perfect for the character. I know a lot of people do not like Dub Aki's voice, but it's kind of grown on me. Yeah, he sounds like a dad, but I mean, really, he kind of is like a dad figure to Denji and Power. Speaking of Power, I really wish there was more of her in there. I understand that, you know, in the manga, she's not even there. Like, you know, what happens, happens, and they drop her off. And then, you know, she comes back at a certain point. But goddamn, I was kind of hoping that, you know, the adaptation would take some liberties and, like, not bring her back during the fight because, yeah, but maybe flash back to, you know, her doing stuff at public safety headquarters. I don't know. Either way, the movie is excellent. I do need to watch it again, and I hope I get to. I really hope I get to because I think it's a limited theatrical release. And this bag was cool to get. Oh, man. I could just go on, but I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. So if you have yet to, you know, watch Chainsaw Man or read it or whatever, I highly recommend it. I think you won't be disappointed. If you are, then, well, okay. But I'm just going to keep enjoying it. I need to definitely get this action figure when it comes out. The Reze and the Bomb Devil. And there's another Chainsaw Man figure coming out, which I have a whole rant about. Oh, man, I got so many rants, but I don't want to complain too much because I saw a really great movie last night and I cannot wait to watch it again. I think in November, we're actually getting some adaptations of Fujimoto's short stories that he released, 1721 and 2226. I'm not sure what that's going to look like in animated form, but I'm looking forward to it. Seriously, Fujimoto is one of my favorite creators going on right now. I love him so much. Everything that I've read of his, I have not hated, okay? So, is the Reze arc movie good? Yes, I believe it is. Go and find it out for yourself. I've been your boy Jay, and later.